In one of my most popular videos, about 10 famous French dishes, I asked which dish from the video you would like me to cook on my channel. I've already made one of them, coq au vin, a classic French chicken slowly braised in wine. But even more people asked me to show how to make another famous French classic, Beef Bourguignon. So today, we're going to cook it together. Welcome to Cooking Show at Home. Please don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and turn on notifications so you don't miss my next recipe. All right, let's get started. For the marinade, I'll use 8 shallots, 1 large diced carrot, 2 bay leaves, and 3 sprigs of fresh thyme. You can use 1 teaspoon of dried thyme if you don't have fresh thyme. For the beef, I chose beef short ribs. They are a fantastic alternative to the traditional chuck roast used in beef bourguignon, giving the dish an even richer flavor and a wonderfully tender fall-apart texture. First, I'm going to remove the bones from the short ribs. But I'm not going to throw them away. I'll use them to make a rich homemade beef broth for the recipe. To marinate the meat, I'll combine the beef, shallots, carrot, bay leaves, and thyme in a large mixing bowl. Then I'll pour in 1 full bottle of Pinot Noir and mix everything well. Now let's make the broth. I'll place the bones, with some meat still attached to them, into a pot and pour in about 4 cups of cold water. I'll add half a teaspoon of salt and about 10 whole black peppercorns. Bring it to a boil over high heat. Then reduce the heat and let it gently simmer for about 1 hour. When the broth is ready, strain it through a fine mesh sieve and set it aside to cool. Now back to the marinade. I'll transfer the beef, vegetables, herbs, and wine into a large zip-top bag. Seal it tightly and place it in the refrigerator to marinate overnight. All right, it's the next day and our beef is beautifully marinated. First, I'll strain the marinade, collecting all the liquid in a saucepan. Place the wine marinade over medium-high heat and bring it to a boil. As it cooks, skim off any foam or impurities that rise to the surface. Continue boiling until the wine has reduced by approximately half. We should end up with about 1 cup of concentrated wine. While the wine is reducing, I'll separate the beef from the carrots and shallots. Pat the beef completely dry with paper towels. This is very important because wet meat will steam instead of developing a beautiful brown crust. Season the beef with about 3/4 of a tablespoon of salt and approximately half a teaspoon of freshly crushed black pepper. Massage the seasoning into the meat so that every piece is evenly coated. Next, I'll melt 3 tablespoons of butter in a large, heavy skillet or Dutch oven. Once the pan is very hot, begin browning the beef in batches over high heat. Don't overcrowd the pan or the beef will release too much moisture and won't brown properly. When each batch develops a nice dark crust, remove it from the skillet and set it aside. Once all the beef is browned, I'll cut about 5 ounces of bacon into half-inch thick batons. Add the bacon to the same skillet and cook it until it becomes golden and lightly crisp. Next, add the marinated shallots to the skillet. Cook them until they develop some beautiful golden patches, and then remove them from the pan. Do the same with the marinated carrots, sautéing them briefly before setting them aside with the shallots. Now I'll take about 7 ounces of button mushrooms, slice them, and sauté them in the same skillet for approximately 5 minutes. Once they are nicely browned, remove them and set them aside with the other vegetables. Next, I'll peel and finely mince 5 or 6 cloves of garlic. Add the minced garlic to the skillet and sauté it for about 1 minute, just until fragrant. Be careful not to burn it. Then add 4 tablespoons of tomato paste. Cook the tomato paste together with the garlic for another 2 to 3 minutes. Cooking the tomato paste removes its raw taste and gives the sauce a deeper, richer flavor. Now return the browned beef and bacon to the skillet. Sprinkle in 3 tablespoons of all-purpose flour, adding it gradually and mixing well after each addition. Cook everything together for about 2 minutes. The flour will help thicken our sauce as the bourguignon slowly cooks. Now I'll gradually pour in 3 cups of the homemade beef broth that I made yesterday. Then add all of the reduced wine, which should be approximately 1 cup. Mix everything well, scraping the bottom of the skillet to release all those flavorful browned bits. Bring the sauce to a gentle simmer, cover the skillet, and cook it over low heat for 1 hour. After 1 hour, return the shallots, carrots, and mushrooms to the skillet. Mix everything gently, cover it again, and continue simmering over low heat for another 2 hours, or until the beef is extremely tender and can easily be pulled apart with a fork. Beef bourguignon is traditionally served with mashed potatoes, so while the beef finishes cooking, I'll prepare them. I'll peel 6 medium potatoes, cut them in half, and place them in a pot of lightly salted water. Bring the water to a boil and cook the potatoes for about 20 minutes, or until they are completely soft and tender. I'll check them with a knife. When the knife slides easily into the center, the potatoes are ready. Drain the water, return the potatoes to the warm pot, and begin mashing them until smooth. While mashing, gradually add about half a cup of warm milk. Warming the milk before adding it is important because cold milk can cool the potatoes too quickly and may give them a slightly gray color. Continue mashing until the potatoes are smooth, creamy, and ready to serve. All right, after 2 more hours of gentle simmering, our beef bourguignon is finally ready. The beef is incredibly tender, the sauce is thick and rich, and the entire kitchen smells amazing. Serve the beef bourguignon over a generous portion of creamy mashed potatoes. Spoon plenty of that beautiful sauce over the top and enjoy. And here is one more great thing about this dish. It will taste even better the next day, after all the flavors have had more time to develop. Tell me in the comments which famous dish you would like me to cook in my next video. Please give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and subscribe to Cooking Show at Home if you haven't already. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!